going on, guys? Check it out. It came with extra ones. Well, one because it's missing, but here we are. So we're going to try and fire the car up today. Going to open the hood up here and get started. So just going to explain a little bit of what happened here while I'm just going to finish putting the coil in here, a new coil, and get the spark plugs in, right? So I did get this engine turning over pretty nicely. It's smoothly turning over now. I'm going to slide in a little quick sped up video here of the compression test I did. And the compression test, you know, was pretty close for 120. You know, it was around 10% in between it, which is pretty acceptable. So let me just set the camera up so we can see what's going on. But yeah, so I'm just going to tighten up that coil where I was. We got power to the ignition. To the ignition sending, we got power. And we're just asking for spark plugs now. So these got cleaned up, re-gapped them all. For some reason, they were at like 35. And the spec in this, can't remember off the top of my head, but I just gapped them. And we'll put that up in there. But compression test went all good. So we got power going to the ignition. Now we're gonna have spark plugs going in. Had a little bit of a operation go on here with the distributor. So what the story was this car came with its original distributor. However, it didn't have a set of points in there. That was missing. Through the research, everything like that, I was able to locate what said there was points online. Ended up getting like a box full of just, I think they were mini distributors. It's the same kind of thing, but not quite exactly 100%. A couple pictures here of just the two distributors side by side. Now what I had to do was I had to drill and tap the bottom of the distributor plate here to accept the mini points, as well as grinding off the other side of them. And it's just not the same. Like you look online and it's all advertised as that they're for that, and the picture you can blatantly see is not. And so little minor modification to get all this to fit. And we're going to be reusing the original distributor here. Hopefully it's going to fire. But the reason why I wanted to not just slap a mini distributor in this thing is because the car is original still. It hasn't really been ever touched under here much. You know, maybe they painted the firewall, but that's about it. So I didn't want to, you know, just change the car. So now it's original for whoever else takes over after this and wants to drive this thing and keep it. And if it's the original owner, great. And whoever else gets it before, you know, hopefully they just appreciate an original car. But here we are with the distributor going in. These distributors only go in one way. They're not like regular cars, like Chevys and Fords and all that business where you got to get it right on TDC and go. This thing, it's only one way that it goes in, and then one way it fires for it. You just got to make sure you get your spark plugs in the right order and the keyway lines up and you're good to go. So I had this whole business numbered here from before. So 1, 3, 2 is right here. We'll tidy these up still, you bet. If this thing runs, we're going to, you know, obviously be power washing the engine bay and cleaning this up so that it's nice and clean and everything is just, you know, looking good. Car doesn't need too much. It's missing that emblem I just showed you on the front fender, and that's about it. But holy, okay. So we had power coming in, and now I just have to hook up my distributor wire and So vacuum advance wire here, which again, this is just the way it was, so why not keep doing that and keep it the way it was, right? It doesn't have to get doing everything in my power here to not say the word molested, but inevitably that's what happens with these cars is they go in there and they do things to it and then it's just never original again, right? So anyway, this you can hear turns over nicely. Spark plugs are in. Carburetor, we'll close the choke a little bit maybe, right? And then, yeah, here we go. Let's try this out here because this car sat for the good part of, I'd say 25 years, nearly 30 years, but okay, I got a little bit of bug spray here. And let's do this. Put some in there and then let's put the ignition on and try this out. I'm probably going to have to go right through this with the timing and the whole 9 yards here with it, right? But, oh yeah. Okay. Give it a little more of this cheech spray. The distributor was kind of pointing in that direction there, so okay, let's try. Oh, okay, let's give this a try. Oh, hopefully, okay. Well, we're getting fire, so I rebuilt this distributor, so it's definitely going to have spark. I tested it on the bench and got everything happy. So, a little bit more spray. Gotta get the fuel up in the fuel pump here. And, so which way are we gonna go? Let's try going clockwise with the distributor. But let's try this. Okay. Okay, pump the gas. Either that or we're going to dump some gas in her. Bring this back out a bit here. Let's see. How's that? Okay. One more. Come on, babe. So I gotta get some fuel here to dump in the carb, and then that'll really give it a shot here. Yeah, let's do that. That was not much, but we'll see. Let's do this here. That was a lot, so let's go here. Let's get that coil tightened up a bit. 760 here. No, that was a lot, so let's hope so here. Let's get that coil tightened up a bit. It still doesn't matter on location wise, because the distributor only goes in one way, right? So she's alive. She's alive. Ah, good one. Nice. Okay, so from this we're going to know that it's not getting fuel, right? Because look at it, that just ran, it was rolling over. Like it actually, wherever the timing's at right now, is probably pretty good. But it rolled over there for a minute, so that was all right. I like that. Very good. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this line off probably here in a few minutes, and then I'm gonna run my own fuel pump, or at least test that fuel pump, and just make sure that we're getting fuel. What I want to do is I want to take the fuel line off here, just confirm that we're getting fuel. It's going to be just the one thing to do here. Which I don't see any coming in. She's feeling a little stuck there. Okay, so now what I got is, of course, back up to do this. So let's hook up a fuel pump, and yeah, let's do that. I'll tilt this up and we will grab some stuff. Okay. I love glass fuel pumps, bowls. I love collecting those. Like that would, this one is too small. This one. This one here. This one I think is going to do the job. So all we need is this thing for the fuel inlet on the end of that carburetor. There we go. Yeah, that fits, so that's perfect. Let's tighten this up a little bit. Or no, we'll blow it out first. That's what we're gonna do. Not too bad. Right on. Might as well just try and get it running at least with its own fuel supply, and then we're going to be able to just troubleshoot if it's anything carburetor related here, and that's what we want to know. So let's go. Perfect. And a fuel pump. We've got two to choose from. We'll do the 2 to 3.5 pound fuel pump here, just because we know how pinner this thing is. Flow. There we go. Perfect. Car battery. see here. Fuel. Plus and minus. So red is red. Okay. Yeah, it's working. Dry pump there. Oops. All right, let's turn this ignition on. A little bit of fogger. We'll turn this around. Oh, we're getting fuel to shoot out of the fuel pump here. So it is starting to go. Hell yeah, listen to that. Right on. This is more like it. Maybe it's priming itself. So here we go. Bet you the pump just needs to prime. Cool. We'll just let that even idle like this. Okay, so right on. Well, thanks for coming out. We got her to run here. This is awesome. Right on. Good. I'm just going to put a temperature gun on this in a little bit, but we'll idle it off right now because this is good. Nothing really leaking from the carburetor, so I'm going to have to say that this is probably going to be the fuel pump, and it could just be priming the system. So fresh fuel filter and prime the pump. So just block it off and see if we can build pressure. If not, then the pump's coming out of this thing. But she's alive. That's like, I don't know, 25 years plus she's been sleeping. It's not my car, so I can't really name her. If she doesn't have a name already. Awesome. I like it. Yeah, there's really nothing coming out of that fuel pump, so I'm gonna have to say that a little bit more investigation, but thanks again for coming out, guys. And it's smoky in here, but we're gonna open up the doors and let her keep going. So we'll keep going with the Metropolitan here. You know, we got some finishing work to come up. We're gonna put a carpet kit in it and that little badge on the side and cut, wax, and clean this thing, and then I'll power wash the engine bay and get it looking really good here. So yeah, thanks again. If you don't mind, just hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. And you know, it just helps things when you're starting out here, get it in the algorithm right. So good one. Awesome.